do right here is go back. What we're gonna do right here is go back. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, back. Way back.
Alright, and welcome back to another Kuma-style review. I'm excited. I've got some more Goken in. This is another one from Bandai Tamashii. This is their Tamashii Special Products line, or the SPEC. This is the XS-05 or XD-01. I don't really know how they go about these, but it's the Dragonar from it's the open and silhouette version. So, not really the best anime in my opinion, but some nice spot designs. Alright, so anyway, I got my favorite, Dragonar 1. I think there are like 5 or 6 of them, like it's crazy. But anyway, here's the box. This will also count as the overview because the box actually has an open and flap. So you'll see everything that's in the box too. We've got the front here with the graph design and everything like that. Alright, picture of the robot. A nice side view here. I believe that's actually... No, that's not a drawing. That's just a really nicely photoshopped side view of the toy itself. That's damn cool. So on this side, picture of the toy. Okay. This side, picture of the exoskeleton, which is really neat. It's almost like a Build-A-Figure. I don't understand why they come like this, since the armors aren't interchangeable between any of them. But they do, so that's pretty cool. And it's nice to actually see what the diecast is on the figure, which that exoskeleton mostly is. On the back, awesomeness just says all that it comes with. Just a picture of everything that it comes with, as well as some action shots and a still view. Now let's go ahead and look at the top and bottom. The bottom, just that side view that I was talking about. And the top, another nicely photoshopped picture, but it's of the toy looking upward, fully armored. Okay, so this one does have an open in front here. Okay, and don't worry, I'll go ahead and look at this top flap in a second, but you see everything that comes in here? All the different pieces, the exoskeleton and things like that, as well as the weapon. They're even labeled, which is cool. I mean, you can tell on arms and arms, the shoulder to shoulders, head to head, but it's really nice. Just to keep on top of, you know, everything that's supposed to be there. Because honestly, once you take these out of the box, you don't necessarily know what goes in each hole. So it's cool, you know, because I plastic bag everything, so that'll be nice to help me keep track. Alright, and the top flap, it's got a picture of the toy, a couple more with the graph background, and a lot of kanji, which of course I cannot read. So there is the box for Dragonar 1. Let's go ahead and start digging into the toy itself. Alright, and here's where we give the overview of what's in the box, but we already saw what's in the box. Now we're taking it out and taking a look at the skeleton that you get to start off with. What I like about this setup is the fact that there's nothing hidden to it. A lot of the times, if you're a Goken collector, whether it's Chogoken or other Goken diecast lines, you get toys that say, okay, it's a Goken toy, yada yada, but then you get it and it's lighter than most other plastic toys you have because it barely has any diecast in it at all. This way you see exactly how much diecast is in it, and it's a good amount. I mean, you've got some plastic, I'll just say straight up, here in the chest area, it looks like, as well as the feet and the front of the forearms, okay? However, and you can notice the more silvery or metallic look, you know, compared to the flat gray. Even though they did a really good color choice with the gunmetal, it matches well. You know, but metal just obviously has a different sheen to it than plastic. But anyway, you see exactly what you're getting here. There's nothing hidden, and as you can see, I mean, even in the crotch area, back of the forearms, biceps, this thing is Goken. So, yeah, this might be some of the most Goken I've gotten in a toy period in terms of, you know, just the percentage of the body covered in it. But okay, that's enough of the skeleton. Looks like a skeleton. What else is cool about it is the fact that you can see, you know, all of the articulation to it and stuff like that as well. Just a really neat thing in and of itself. So we've got a bunch of parts here, and we'll go ahead and get this put together. No need to fast forward it. There's not much to it, but go ahead and start with the head here. Okay. And bear with me, I'm going off of memory a little bit, but I think I'll be alright. And you saw that I took those two pieces off the thighs, so I'll go ahead and make sure those are off to the side. Okay. And what's nice is that there's not too much that's specific to sides and things like that, so for the most part, you don't have to worry about, you know, getting this or that mixed up. Okay. Just thighs. Simple enough. Okay. The forearms, you can tell which sides are the forearms. Now, the little bullet clips, I already put those in. There are 2 bullet clips that go in each forearm piece. Okay. Let's find as well. You just put things on as we find them. But everything just clips in, and they clip in really tight, which I like. Okay. So then there are the legs. You can tell which sides are the outside because they have the thrusters there. And they'll just clip in as well. I was worried about the clip system, but rest assured, these are solid as all get out. Okay. Alright. And for posability reasons, you know, those foot guards, they just clip in. Alright. These pieces actually go on the shoulders. You can pretty much do it in whatever order you want. Just make sure you're getting the layers correctly. We'll do the front half of the crotch piece here. There's another piece that pegs into the front like so. The back skirt just pegs in. Okay. Alright, awesome. Alright, get that other piece out of the way. Gotta make sure his chest is all put together. Okay. So I will do the front of the chest, the back of the chest. You see what I mean? Everything just pegs into place. It's solid, but it goes together so simply. Okay, so there's that. And that just leaves the shoulder pads. The shoulder pads, it doesn't matter. There's no front or back to them, so it doesn't matter which way you put them on. But they just peg into those ball joints up there. Okay. Even though the toy is solid, I've noticed the ball joints that actually peg into the chest here come out not necessarily easy, but they do come out, you know, just in general. They pop right back in. They're solid. They're tight. But I don't know what exactly is going on with that. But okay. And there you go. Now we have an all put together Dragonar. And see? That wasn't too bad. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. Alright, taking a look at the figure itself, let's go ahead and knock out the good old measurement first. It is head to toe about 5.25, 5.25 inches. Head to toe. And alright. Just so you can get a good look from far away, from near. Let's go ahead and get a look at the back. Now his thrusters in the back here, you have the option to have the top 2 covered, not covered, you know, that kind of deal. Or I guess the bottom 2 technically too. But if you want to uncover them, just pull these up. Okay. And they are posable there. Okay. So So there's the back. Now, one thing that I didn't show is that he does have storage compartments for his knives in his back legs here. So they actually kind of lock into place, which is nice. Makes them hard to get out, but if you can see that, get that in the light. Each side has a knife that he can hold. And I like that the holsters are movable. So when you're posing them and stuff like that, they don't like block his feet or anything. So, you know, overall very cool. And there he is. Alright, now checking out the posability. The head is on a ball joint. The neck is also on a pivot of its own, so you can bring that forward and backwards too. Alright. Shoulders. The shoulder pads are on their own, I guess if you want to call it a rack or whatever, so they can go in and out like so. The shoulders themselves, of course, are movable. Where the shoulder connects to the chest, that's a ball joint. Alright. He does have bicep swivel. Elbow joints, full elbow joints, not double jointed or anything like that. And his wrists are on ball joints. Go ahead and put his sword back into place real quick. And believe it or not, that's like the first time it's ever popped out even. So those are pretty solid. And part of it's because they have a peg that pegs in too. Alright, we'll get into more with the accessories. But alright, moving on. He does have some ab crunch, but he's got that armor here. Alright. And just for anybody who wants to buy this, alright, this is all hard plastic, all of the armor. But this one part that covers up his abs, it's more of a soft, rubbery plastic. When I got mine, his left side, see how it curves in there? This was actually bent outwards. You know, not a bad thing. Didn't have stress on it or nothing like that, but still had to get fixed. A friend of mine, Armored Foe, or Willis, he has this figure too, and he said his came like that, so it might be a manufacturing thing, but I'll tell you what, I even did it at work. I brought my hairdryer with me, and this thing, it took maybe 3 minutes, just blow it on there, bend it into the correct place, and it'll stay, you know, so it didn't take long. Just watch your fingers, because hairdryers are hot. Alright. So, moving on, he does have waist swivel there, and you can see the ab crunch a bit, but like I said, he doesn't have much due to that armor. Thighs on ball joints, those Gokin die-cast ball joints. Definite thigh swivel. Full bend at the knee here. Not double jointed, but you can see that he still gets a lot of movement there. And his feet definitely are on rocking ankle joints there. Okay. Now the front and back of his feet, let's see here. Do they have separate articulation? No, they do not. Okay? But at the same time, not really necessary, because there's so much range of movement there. Okay? But that's the figure himself. And yeah, let's go ahead and give you a quick view at the head sculpt here. It's very, very anime accurate. Just a cool looking body in general. That's that. Just wanted to make sure you guys see how the head actually looks. And alright, let's look at his accessories. Alright, now taking a look at his accessories, we'll just go from left to right. He has these two sword handles on his side plates that come off, as you saw. He also has a version of both of those put together to make a staff. These are the two beams, so you can do them either separately as swords or the staff. But if you want to see how one of the swords looks in his hands, it's a lot like the Robot Spirits Tamashii. Just pop it in and put it into his hand. And yeah, give me 1 second though, I just want to make sure there's not, okay, there's not a special hand or anything like that specifically for these items. And alright, it actually goes in this slanted hand here that's made to perfect fit. Alright, whereas I had the gun hand on, so glad I checked. because that just didn't feel right. Okay. Alright. There's a single sword there. Okay. He comes with a shield. The shield has a couple of options here. You could either have him hold it with a handle, or you can clip it to his forearm with this piece here. They both just peg into the shield, and it pegs right into the forearm. I like the pegged forearm look better in general. Plus, it also gives you that hand free to hold a weapon. Alright? Per the show, he has a disc that he throws at people, kind of like Captain America's shield. And that's here. It clips into the forearm just the same. Okay, so we'll go ahead and clip that in. Alright, so you can see how that looks. And outside of that, just a variety of hands, you know, open hands, and then one to hold the gun, as well as closed fist. Okay? So we'll take the sword out and actually use the gun hand here so you can see how the gun looks. Okay, I'm actually going to take the shield off, move some of the stuff out of the way here. Besides the stuff we haven't went over. Alright, so there's his gun. And he has a couple of options here with it. You can have him hold it one-handed, like so. Or, it does come with a support arm that bends in. And you could have him... I'll actually take his shield out, just to make some room. Hold it with his other hand as well. So let's go ahead and do that. And see what I mean? It just popped out. So... let's go ahead and pop that ball joint back in. I don't want to edit that out because, you know, I want you guys to kind of see that that kind of stuff happens. Alright. And now there you go. So you can see how that looks. And I love that the shoulders are on separate sliders, so you don't have to lose that. Okay. Now also, what he does have are these spare antennas. He comes with more rubbery styled ones, but these ones are very hard. Okay. They look about the same. I like the paint job on the hard ones a bit better. I have a little bit of paint loss right here on the yellow one, but it's barely noticeable. I notice it because, you know, of course it's mine, and I'm anal about my stuff. But even right there, I just pushed it in and I don't see it anymore. So, yeah. But anyways, I prefer the rubber ones, just for the sake of if I'm moving it around and they accidentally hit something. Let's say it's that rare time where I drop a figure on the ground or something, it's less prone to break. Okay? So there's that part, and let's take a look at the wing pack. Alright, this toy's already awesome, but you can make them super, mega, ultra awesome, pretty much. Yeah, that's by adding the wing pack as seen as on the show. I'll go ahead and bring that to the forefront now. Get that out of the way. It comes in 3 pieces. Okay? The top wings, the bottom wings, and the chest piece. It looks a bit cumbersome, but I mean, it takes not even a minute to put together. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Alright, so we just pop that triangle piece off the chest. Okay. And this has to be up, that thruster guard. And then from there, we just take this and pop it onto the back. Okay. Yeah, it has to be up. Okay, just making sure. Okay. And it fits in really snug. You shouldn't see any space, any gappage, or anything like that. Now, in the instructions it says to take the head off for the next step, but you don't have to. Just be careful. I slide it in, this top part around the shoulders, and then it just pegs down. There is a hole that you can see there. I'm not able to show it because it's so, you know, everything's right on top of each other. but that just pegs down in. Okay? And boom, there we go. Alright, now for the front chest piece, you'll see there are a couple of peg pieces here, as well as in the chest, and you just make sure it all fits. Okay. And there we'll go. There we go. Now the wings, pretty light, but definitely sturdy, you know. They are posable and stuff like that. I don't worry about dropping this, breaking it, you know what I mean, anything like that. But they're light enough for this thing to be able to still balance well and maintain its posability. Now, the top wings, not really posable or anything like that. You can go ahead and rear them back if you want to, okay? And this is nice, you know, in case of you wanted to make him maybe fly in a different direction and things like that. I love that he has a good range of motion in the head there. Okay, so let's say, alright, now we're going to fly him forward. And there you go. And these bottom ones, they want to know, okay? Now, what's flying without a stand? And he comes with the best stand I've seen in a figure yet, okay? There's a stand, you put it together. But what's really cool about this is the nice, really strong ratcheting joints. And rather than like a Tamashii stand that just pegs in and things like that, this top part actually has a peg in the back and in the front to peg into his chest piece or his crotch piece. So get the back end first, peg it in, and I don't know if you guys heard that, but that's really cool too. Now, what's nice about this stand is, of course, it has a piece of movement right there, as well as at the base. Peg that back part of it back in. But it also tilts. And it's a really tight tilt joint. So, let me actually angle the camera up and back. So if you want to do something to where, you know, let's go ahead and look how posable he is. I mean, god damn it. I'm actually going to bring the camera up to my end here. And yeah. I mean, this is the good stuff. The photographer in me just, like, squeals at posability like this. Like, this is the good stuff. So, yeah. There are his accessories. It comes with a lot of stuff, but as you can see, I mean, this section was only 5 minutes, so it's really easy access when it comes to swapping the pieces in and out and stuff like that. Alright, now on to the final thoughts. Alright, and final thoughts on this figure. You know, I got it for around $100 shipped. It is the Tamashii SPEC line. So those are some, you know, nicer figures. I mean, all of Tamashii Nations' stuff is great, but I mean, the spec line, it feels like they give really special attention to these figures because they are more of those, you know, not super popular, we're going to make 1 million figures out of these anime. They do a couple at most and just make them count. And this one definitely does. I'm a big Chigokin or Gokin collector, and I mean, the diecast in this is incredible. Like, there's something about that, like, feeling a diecast toy, that like cold feeling, especially all throughout the toy like this one has, that's just something else. I love that it comes in the like exoskeleton form so that you can see exactly, you know, what you're getting, the posability, the diecast and things like that. This one doesn't have anything to hide because basically it's the stuff, you know. And yeah, this figure just works on all levels, and it's one that I wasn't a huge Dragonar anime fan, but I've always loved the mecha design, and this one definitely does it justice. So I would definitely recommend it. You can still get it for between 100 and 150 ship nowadays, even if it's from Japan. So yeah, this has been TJ Duckett with another Kuma style review. This is once again the Tamashii Special Products line, or SPEC. This is Dragonar 1 from the opening silhouette. Thanks again for watching, and see you next review.